We've got tons of video to share with you from the Conference of Grandmasters in North America, which was in Seattle, Washington. And I'm back from the trip, but still feeling Seattle. So I've got my Starbucks and my Space Needle mug. I've got my original Gen X 90s era flannel and long sleeve white tee. It's been in the closet for a while, let's say, but we've got some great video to share with you. I'm Maynard Edwards, 33rd degree. Thanks for watching the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry channel. As I've said in previous videos, the Conference of Grandmasters in North America 2024 was fantastic. We got to talk to so many Masonic leaders, and we're going to share all of that with you here on the channel. We got to talk with Masonic leaders from around the country and even around the world, and it was a lot of fun. And some of my favorite interviews were with our Masonic Youth Group leaders. And you saw my previous interview with Ryan and River from DeMolay International. This one is one that gets right to my heart. It's Job's Daughters International. I'm a proud Joby dad, and I got to sit down with Miss Job's Daughters International 23 and 24, Miss Annabelle H. Well, first of all, thank you for sitting down with us and talking about Job's Daughters. I've been wanting to do this for a while because I'm a very proud Joby dad, but I don't dare put mine on camera because God knows what they will say. But I am a super proud Joby dad, and my daughter Willa is currently the junior Miss Joby, which is super exciting for us. And we've been doing a lot of traveling with Job's Daughters. So for folks who have no idea at all, what is Job's Daughters?
Job's Daughters is a Masonic youth organization for girls from the ages 10 to 20. We teach leadership skills, charitable service, respect for parents, respect for guardians, respect for the country, and love of God. And it's just a really, really great way for girls to connect with other people their age and make connections with adults and learn how to function in a workplace and in school. And it's just a really, really great personal development program.
Let's talk about you first. What brought you to Job's Daughters? I understand you were a 6th generation Joby?
I'm a 3rd generation Joby. I come from 6 generations of Masons.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Yeah, 6 generations of Masons, 5 generations of Eastern Star members, but I am a 3rd generation Joby. So my grandma was a Job's daughter, my mom's a Job's daughter, and so I was a Joby to be from the day I was born. And I was initiated on my 10th birthday. As soon as I could find out what was going on behind those doors, I was in there.
My girls were all Jobies to be from the minute they were born as well.
Yep.
So in the past, it was required that Job's Daughters had a Masonic affiliation. In other words, they had to have a blood relative or a marriage relative that was a Master Mason. That rule has shifted a bit.
That rule has shifted. So you can be initiated with a Masonic family connection, or you can be sponsored by a Master Mason, which essentially means that they're vouching for you and agreeing to be that sponsorship for you.
After you become a Job's Daughter, there are several officer roles that you can go to, and they culminate with the job of the Honored Queen, which if you're a Mason, that would translate to Worshipful Master, sort of. And so what is your role as the Honored Queen? And a lot of people get upset about these titles, Honored this or Worshipful that, but this is really sort of an Old English traditional language, and it really has nothing to do with worshiping anyone or honoring, but it means you have been elected, essentially.
You have been elected, you've been chosen. So the Honor Queen's job is to plan out the term. So our terms are 6 months. So what she does, she plans all of the fun activities, she plans any themes for meetings you might have, she plans promotion events. She works directly with the Bethel Guardian Council on making sure that everything is set up in the best interest of the daughters. She helps teach ritual work and teach the girls what Job's Daughters is, what they can get out of it. Works on bringing in new members. She runs everything.
The Honor Queen is the boss.
The Honor Queen is the boss. And then the Bethel Guardian Council are her advisors. So after you've been an Honored Queen, you become a past Honored Queen, and that is a title that many girls really work to earn. They work their tails off to do that. I've seen it in real time. And then you have the opportunity throughout that process to be in pageants. And those pageants, they're not beauty pageants. These involve ritual and public speaking and all kinds of different things. And that is where you earn the titles that lead you toward the tiara you're wearing now. So talk a little bit about what pageant is and what it provides girls the opportunity.
Absolutely. At the international level, we will actually now be calling it a competition and the coronation.
Taken away from the word pageant.
Taking it away from the word pageant, yeah. But so the competition to be a Miss or a Junior Miss is a written test, a oral recitation test of a ritual part, a personal interview, stage presentation, so how you present yourself when you come out, and then your final question or extemporaneous question. And the person with the highest total score is the one who is crowned Miss, Junior Miss. And then each jurisdiction of Job's Daughters gets to send one girl, generally speaking, their Miss jurisdiction, to the Miss International pageant. And it's much the same. It all takes place virtually for Miss International to include our daughters from out of country who can't come to our Supreme session. But it's the same written test, oral recitation, a little bit more difficult than at the state level. Personal interview. Then we do an introduction video, since not everybody will be on stage, and our extemporaneous question as well. And so that works the same way. The person with the highest overall score from everything combined is who's crowned your Miss International.
You get your crown at Supreme Session in July, which in 2024 will be held in Omaha, which is not very far from where Job's Daughters' home base is.
That is Job's Daughters' home base, yes.
And so you have, since this past July, you have been everywhere. Like when my Willa got her crown, you were there in Baltimore, and you've been all over the show. So tell me about some of those experiences.
So I've been to a lot of U.S. states already, but our biggest center for Job's Daughters is in Brazil. So our whole Supreme team, all four of us, Supreme Guardian, Associate Supreme Guardian, myself, and the Supreme Bethel Honor Queen, went down to Brazil. We visited 5 different states in Brazil in October. And then recently, I joined my Supreme Bethel Honor Queen down there because that's where she's from. And we visited 4 more. And it's unlike anything I've ever experienced. They are so excited to have people from Supreme come to visit them. And it is absolutely massive down there. One of my favorite memories was from this past Supreme session. We had what we call a Joby Congress, which is a meeting of all of the active daughters without the presence of the adults to kind of talk through what...
Hold on, that sounds terrifying. As one of the active adults, that sounds like nightmare fuel.
So we have the Joby Congress Committee present, but they are not permitted to give ideas. They are there to listen to the ideas of the daughters. So they help facilitate making everything... everything.
Making sure it doesn't come to blows and the food fight doesn't break.
Right.
Okay. Oh.
But this was a time for the daughters to talk about the changes they want to see without the influence of their adults trying to still have a hand in that change. So we did presentations from small groups of changes we wanted to see. We discussed bylaws and everything that we wanted changed and adapted. And now our daughters have a vote at the Supreme Guardian Council level on bylaw changes and on the ritual revision that's happening right now as well, which is a huge step for us.
It is excellent because, Job's Daughters has often been accused of remaining, cemented in the past, and not unlike any other Masonic organization, but now you have built in a mechanism by which updates can be made, and not just by the adults, but by the daughters. And that's so important.
It's so important.
Because the world you face is so different than what any of us went through.
Absolutely.
I say all the time to people, it's like, imagine every stupid thing you did when you were a teenager, and now imagine every friend you had has a video camera that can broadcast every human on the planet.
Yep.
That's the world our kids live in, and we didn't. And it is a frightening thing. It is.
But our world changes every day, and we need that young perspective coming in to help us move forward, to keep our organization from dying out, from being stuck in the past. So it's a huge step for us, and it's the first time that our girls have had a say in the ritual revision that will happen this summer. And so they've been having a great time getting to put in their feedback about things that they like, things they don't like, and getting to see that change actively happen as we update this ritual revision.
For folks who don't know anything about Job's Daughters, who want to learn more, especially parents who have daughters who are, even a lot of Bethels have Joby to be hives, which are for the younger girls, which is a really great way to get them started at age 6 until they're eligible to join at 10.
Absolutely.
How do they get in touch? How do they find out more?
So we do have our international website, which is Job's Daughters International, all one word, all lowercase.org. Then if you had more specific questions, all of the contact information for our Supreme leaders is on there, as well as my own. It's just abbreviations of our titles at jdint.org. And any of us would be more than happy to help you find the answers to whatever questions you may have.
Excellent. And on a personal note, I can't recommend Job's Daughters enough for young women. It is a fantastic, values-based, service-based organization, and the girls run it. The adults are there to advise, and if things get a little off the rails, you kind of nudge them back. But
yeah.
they manage their own budgets, they schedule their own meetings. It really is run by the young ladies, and they do an incredible job. And if you're a Freemason and you don't have a Bethel in your lodge, find one nearby and go visit. Any Master Mason can go visit a Job's Daughters meeting
any Mason
at any time.
No.
And so entered apprentices and fellow crafts.
Yes.
All right. You guys learn your catechism. We can take you once you become Master Masons. That's not public service message. But I can't recommend it enough for our young ladies. It really is an extraordinary organization, and the values that it teaches and the speaking skills that it teaches. There's so many kids today don't do a good job of talking to adults, and I think that is a huge,
or to each other.
Well, right, and that's such a detriment to our youth that they're so used to the communication through the device. They don't walk up and say hello and shake your hand and greet you with face to face. But this young lady obviously, and this is what Job's Daughters teaches.
And I have Job's Daughters to thank for that 100%. It has changed my life in every conceivable way.
If you want more information about Job's Daughters International, we've got the address on screen and the links above and below. It is a fantastic organization for young ladies. And in the past, it was true that you had to have a Masonic connection, a father, grandfather, uncle, something to that effect in order to become a Joby. However, that rule is no longer in effect. You just need to have someone to sponsor you that's a Mason. And I promise there is a Mason out there who will do that for the young lady in your life. So if you know of a Job's Daughters chapter in your area and you've got a young lady in your life between the ages of 10 and 21, you really should check it out, because this is a fantastic organization. Their ceremonies are so, so lovely. And what they teach young ladies isn't something that they're going to learn in school or anywhere else. And they really do teach the bonds of sisterhood within the organization. As I've said, I'm a proud Joby dad, and I can't say enough good about that organization. So please do check it out. And if you are a Master Mason, the Jobies love when Master Masons visit their meetings, and you can go to a meeting anytime. So find a chapter near you and do yourself a favor. Go and visit the Job's Daughters chapter. They will love for you to come by. It really means a lot to them. So make sure you check it out. And again, the links are below in the description and above as well. I'm Maynard Edwards, 33rd Degree. We've got lots more coming from the Conference of Grandmasters 2024. So stick around on the channel and you're going to see a whole lot more from our trip to Seattle. I'm going to finish up this cup of coffee. This Space Needle mug is a lot bigger than it looks. It's like a half a gallon of coffee here. Good thing I've got all that video to edit. I may never sleep again.